U.S. professional wrestler Hulk Hogan has died at age 71 following a cardiac arrest at his home in Florida. Hogan was one of wrestling's biggest names throughout the 1980s and 90s. In recent years, he became a vocal supporter of Donald Trump, appearing at last year's Republican convention.
The dawn of Hulkamania. Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan, takes a star turn in Rocky III. Beginning with his debut in 1979, Hogan became the face of pro wrestling and remained so for decades. With his bleach blonde hair, bulging biceps, and superstar charisma, Hogan helped transform professional wrestling into a multi-billion-dollar industry. More recently, he dipped into the wrestling ring of politics, endorsing Donald Trump in the 2024 election.
States, enough was enough, and I said, let Trumpamania run wild, brother. Let Trumpamania rule again. Let Trumpamania make America great again.
But decades in the spotlight also brought difficulties. A messy divorce from his wife Linda took a toll on the Hogan brand. He was also open about his struggles with depression after his reality TV show was canceled.
Because we can't afford to keep both houses.
I did not. And I don't think many people knew what was going on with my life. And if I can pull the nose up on this monster after everything I've been through, I just want to let everyone know, don't give up, stay positive. Life is beautiful. Things are going to be good.
A candid moment from a true strongman. It's unlikely professional wrestling will ever see another superstar like Hogan.
Let's bring in entertainment journalist KJ Matthews from Los Angeles. KJ, good to have you with us. Hulk Hogan is a household name, and not just in the U.S. How did a wrestler get to be so famous to so many people?
It's so hard to imagine. Imagine before social media. Now we have The Rock, former wrestler. We have actor John Cena, former wrestler turned actor. All of these people, though, are around when there's social media and you can really build your following. But because Hulk Hogan was really a showman, not just inside the wrestling ring, but outside the wrestling ring, and he had such a big personality, he was able to really translate that into being a Hollywood darling and a Hollywood star. His personality really shone through, and that's how he was able to do it. I mean, it was at a time where I think wrestling was not such a huge multi-million-dollar global business the way it is today. But he was one of the few wrestlers that was able to transcend. He also was the first wrestler to be on Sports Illustrated, if you can believe that, the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about his career outside the ring, especially on the big screen.
He did quite a few films. I think he was one with something with Rocky. He was in a couple of other films. He did Mr. Nanny, Suburban Command. He did a slew of films, and he always played himself, this bigger, larger-than-life character, and people loved it. They really did. I mean, he was the wrestler in the 80s and 90s, and then he translated that into the mid-90s, early 2000s, into being a hit. He had his own reality TV show, can you believe that, called Hogan Knows Best, where the cameras followed him and his family around. I think that was between 2005 and 2007. So he really learned how to parlay that spotlight that he had in the wrestling ring into something much bigger, an enterprise, so to speak. But, as time went on, he got wound up in some controversy too. People probably will remember he got a divorce. There were allegations from his first wife saying that he abused her. He ended up suing a celebrity tabloid magazine called Gawker because they had released a sex tape that he was supposedly in, or at least a couple of minutes of it. He ended up winning, but he sued them for that. So that was something. And then later on, he got caught on a recording using the N-word to describe his daughter's, I guess, ex-boyfriend or boyfriend at the time. So he was not without controversy in the end. And then, as you guys just showed, he really became political and really coming out and supporting Trump and appearing at the Republican National Convention last summer.
Yeah, KJ Matthews, just tell us briefly, how did his transition to MAGA change his image?
It did change his image, but I don't think that many people were surprised because he had some controversy years prior, with the sex tape and him using the racial slur. So people probably pretty much thought he would be supporting Trump. I think they liked him for his antics, when he was at the Republican National Convention and he tore his shirt off and he said he's going to make America great again. So till the end, Hulk Hogan was always the consummate showman in politics, in his reality show, on the big screen, and of course in the wrestling ring. And that's the way I think many people will remember him.
KJ Matthews, thanks so much as always.